Baseball's World Series is all tied up. There's a fly ball deep left center field. Headed back there. It is gone. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s home run gave the Blue Jays the lead they didn't give up, beating the defending champion Dodgers 6-2 on Fox. So Toronto and Los Angeles, 2 games apiece. They'll play again tonight. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is... This is Viewpoint, a presentation of the News and Public Affairs Department of AM 1490 WHBB. We welcome your input on the issues of the day. You can contact us on the Viewpoint line by calling 875-1490. The opinions expressed by our callers and guests do not necessarily reflect those of the management and staff of AM 1490 WHBB. And now, here's today.
And good morning and welcome into the Wednesday morning Viewpoint. For this Wednesday morning, October 29th, 2025, I'm your host, Randy Williams. And hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, oh man, trick or treat early. The G-Man just brought me an early trick or treat.
That's right.
A Kit Kat, huh? And this is right on time, in fact. Yeah. Yeah, all that good stuff. Good nutritious candy, huh? 875-1490 and 1492 are the numbers to call if you have comments or questions. We are live. I'm getting it down, y'all, on YouTube. And so, but again, because I remember when the first time I tried YouTube way back, people were having problems finding it. So now the link is on the Selma Post-Herald, the Selma Post-Herald Facebook page. And you'll see where it says Viewpoint. It's now streaming live on YouTube. And I'm noticing that more and more people are finding that and finding it on the YouTube channel, the selmapostherald.com YouTube channel. And these programs stay on YouTube. Selma Post Herald is in the process of developing that YouTube channel. It's been sitting there. We've been on YouTube a long time, but we really never really focused on developing that particular channel. And so it's a lot now as the football season is coming to an end, because I've been pretty heavily involved, if you will, time-wise. And so that'll free up some time, and I'll be able to focus on selmapostherald.com. And a lot of material. I've got tons of material that needs to be posted. Good stuff that people need to know about, probably already know about, but to be reminded of. Speaking of which, I did, in fact, a couple of events that took place at the selmapostherald.com videoed. And of course, the most recent one, the last one, was the civic program that honored Mayor Perkins. So that's already on the YouTube channel. It's already been posted. Also, when that meeting was held at Wallace Community College concerning the new high school in Demopolis, before they did the groundbreaking ceremony in Demopolis, the first statewide meeting for recruitment was held here in Selma. So that was videotaped. That's got to be uploaded. Hearing of the clips, all that. That was a kind of interesting event. Also, that still needs to be uploaded. I believe. The interview with the executive director was uploaded, but the sights and sounds still needs to be uploaded. So that's just a few things to keep in mind. Now, let's see here. We got a couple of things. I guess I'll start with the bad news first. The bad news, of course, is about the gentleman that shot 59-year-old Pollard Moultrie, and of course he died as a result of being shot on Beach Creek Lane this past Saturday, and he was flighted to UAB, and according to news sources, he died there. And it sounds like started at a barbecue, family barbecue, somebody drinking too much. And he correctly didn't want to give him another beer, but it sounds like it was too late. And he'd already had too much to drink. And came beating on Mr. Moultrie's door with a gun. His brother-in-law heard him beating on the door with the gun and went outside. Next thing you know, he shot his brother-in-law in the head twice, and once in. So, who's at fault? The gun or the shooter? Did the gun make itself shoot twice, three times? You know, it may sound a little insensitive to say it like that, but at the end of the day, people, self-control, not gun control. And a lot of nice events, like last week, um, the chili cook-off, hundreds of people. You know, everybody having a nice time. They had beer, but they had adult beverages for adults. There was no trouble. Nobody just shot the chili cook-off up. There was no fighting. You know, we can have a good time. We can go out and have a nice time, but if you can't handle your liquor, then you need to drink alone. If you're gonna do that, you need to drink and stay at home and lock the door, close the door, get away from everybody. I'm just telling. That's just real talk. If I can't handle my liquor, in fact, there are some things I won't drink when I'm in public. So alcohol, some of the stores are called spirits because each drug and each alcoholic drink has a spirit, and so some spirits are more violent, or some are more peaceful than others. And so I will not drink anything that has a violent spirit when I'm in public because I may not be tolerant, but I know myself, right? In fact, it's rare. I don't understand it. If I'm drinking or having a good time or whatever, I'm not looking to fight somebody. I'm looking to have a good time. What is that? I don't know. But it's one of those things that we have to pray over. And the best thing, being sober is probably the best and safest thing to do. But if you can't be sober, know yourself, know your limits, know what you can and cannot do. And now the flip side to that too is to try and avoid that crazy uncle or cousin that can't handle his liquor. When I see him coming, I'm getting out of his way. I don't want to have to go through all of that. But that's easier said than done. And so we just have to learn how to, we can do better than this. I'm so sorry. My condolences to the Moultrie family. Sounds like he had, and he was trying to do the right thing. According to news sources, there have not been any arrests made as of yet, but that could have changed the information that I have. Sounds like they know who the person is. And my heart goes out to the family. Like I said, anytime I hear about any kind of especially a murder or a homicide, preventable, that's something that can be prevented. It's one thing to have an accident. It's another thing to be shot in the head twice by somebody because you won't give them a beer. Viewpoint, you're on the air. Yes, sir. How are you? Doing fine. What's happening? You know, well, I got wet earlier. Yeah, I've been out in it too. I might beat you up in the morning. I don't know. Mm. Go down this weekend. I don't know what's going to happen. Well, that's all I've been hearing, but if Congress did its job, that's not the president's job. And I know people say, well, he's the most powerful man in the world politically. But at the end of the day, Congress should be doing their job. That's what the governor said. The governor said, "I'm not calling a special session. I'm not going to do Congress's job. They're getting paid." Well, I understand that. Obamacare was a great. Yeah, but if you say that too loud, people want to say you're being prejudiced or you're down on Republicans. But I remember 2 years ago, maybe even as early as 3 years ago, the basic prices on Obamacare had already started tripling. That's when the Democrats were in control. I mean, when that was that, I was paying $100 a week, 1 month a week. I'm family care that and when that went down, I had food. It went from $120 a week, 1 month a week. That's wow. That's expensive. No, no, it's not. It's not raining. The sun is shining right now. They want us to believe whatever they tell us to believe, and not what it is. To keep us distracted from the real. The real issue is somebody doesn't care. All they want is power and money. Simple as that. In control. And they've admitted it. They've admitted it. They've admitted it. Even Schumer has admitted it, saying, "Well, yeah, we know we got you by the balls." Excuse me, he didn't say that, but that's what they're saying. We got you by the balls, and we're gonna squeeze until you give us what we want. I don't care who starts. Yeah, I know that's right. Yeah, when it hits home, it's a whole nother tune, huh? Well, I don't like to paint a broad brush. I'm sure there's some that are trying to do the right thing, but you expressing the way the majority of people feel. Actually, there's a large number of people that feel the same way you do, and the confidence in Congress and the media has significance at an all-time low. I wonder why.
I don't know. I don't want to be going to their temper them. I don't care about how good I can have on there. I cannot stand them. Because all they're going to do by is twist their dang on front of them. I mean, they can sit right there, do the whole thing, and they're allowed to hit through something like that. You know about it, they're like a tree.
I think they're underestimating the general public. I don't believe, but they must not understand that you're listening and watching, and we're listening and watching, and see exactly what they're doing.
And these people out there, they're living a life off of days on food stamps and stuff. Yeah. I know there's somebody about who's going to do that, somebody going to go store. But we would pick up and go tell them, I didn't know them. We never know them. And we have a friend who's going to eat the which one of the hell we're coming to have material food in the way. So, I don't care who you are. That's not. Well, you can't get a job. We ain't right now, we ain't got no day on job around this place. Everybody out of here, something, even though I get a job. You ain't gonna do it. $50 a day on that. $30 an hour. That's right. It doesn't get done. Because I ain't gonna pay for $40 an hour. Now you get paid about $15 an hour. We're 40. I have to go in there and have about the way done good. To start by having to send it for the start, and leave the one on the
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling. And let's take this break, and I'll be back with more after these messages.
We're at reliable Chevrolet and GMC in downtown Selma. Barry Parker, a lot of folks are wondering if I have trouble with my vehicle. Where can I take it? There aren't any like shade tree mechanics and garages around anymore.
That's right, George, but you can bring it right here to us. We service not only the GM products, but we service Ford, Toyota, Nissan, Honda, you name it. We can do all your service work right here. And don't forget, when you get to that fifth orchard, guess what happens? It's free. You heard me right. Every fifth orchard is free, and it's not just limited to one per family. It can be 4 or 5 cars in a family. When each and every one of them gets to the fifth orchard, it's just another way we say thank you for doing business with us here at Reliable Chevrolet GMC. We have tires, we have transmission, we have engine, we have oil filter, air filter, brake pads, you name it. We can do it all, and we got the latest and greatest when it comes to front-end alignment machine. It looks like you're headed down the airport, taking off all the lights flashing. So come by and see us. Reliable Chevrolet and GMC. Not only your headquarters for service for your automobile, but it's the market for a new or used vehicle. Nobody better to help you to the business for 79. That's right, George. 79 years. Same location right here in Orange Street. Not only for you, set up with all major items and techniques, and of course, GM Financial. Phone number is 872-3337, or the website is reliablegmc.com. We invite you to come down and let us help you with your service and your transportation needs.
Reliable and somewhat what they truly have it all. In today's preparing your vehicle to showroom condition demands cutting-edge technology, which you get at the Alton George's Painted Body Shop. After 20 with any full reconstruction, George's has the latest advanced technology, especially designed for today's multi-tech vehicles. Flash calibration systems for safety features like lane departure and collision sensors, the two new cheap frame machines, computer laser measuring systems,
Viewpoint accuracy out the downdraft tank roofing provide perfect level refinishing. And the reconstruction comes with a much larger facility designed for an increased capacity and turnaround time. George is your insurance company. Call to schedule your repairs today. See pros here. Supermarket at George's Paint and Body Shop. J.L. Chestnut Jr. Boulevard. Report 14. All George's Paint and Body Shop is open in Selma. Hi, George. And a big round of applause for Lauren Adams, named Best Customer Service Representative. She'll see best insurance agent.
I want to take a moment to say something very important. Each of our local customers continue to trust us with your insurance needs year after year. Your confidence means everything. Not only could keep insurance, we're proud to be the only locally operated insurance agency in Dallas. From helping you choose the right coverage to standing by your side. We represent many great insurance companies, but we work for you. We're also honored to be the exclusive representative of Auto Owners Insurance in Dallas County, along with many other top-rated carriers. So once again, all of us here at Peak Insurance, thank you for your loyalty and thank you for your confidence. So see us at 1003 Broad Street in Selma. Call Peak Coverage, Peak Service, Peak Insurance.
It was a big game. Dave, it would be glad to see some delicious. Oh, now at Dave's Market on Highway 22 in Valley Grant.
Bad weather, under the weather. Relax at home. Your meds are on the way. At Pilcher McBride Drug Company, we never want a busy day or a rainy day to keep you from getting the meds you need. That's why we bring our store to your door. Our citywide prescription delivery program helps you stay on track with your medication regimen without ever leaving the house. Give us a call today at 334-875-7208.
Hi, this is Davis Henry with the Alabama Wildlife Federation. I'm excited to announce that it's time for the Selma County Wild Game Cook-Off. It will be held October the 30th at a new venue. We are moving to the AWF Pavilion at the City Marina. I hope everyone will come out and enjoy a great night along the banks of the Alabama River. To purchase tickets, just go by the Central Alabama Farmers Co-op. The cost is $50 per ticket and lets 2 people in. Gates open at 6 p.m. Come out and support the Alabama Wildlife Federation and help us continue to educate our youth about the great outdoors.
If you'd like a chance to win the $1,000 in cash at Dixie Country Night at the Central Alabama Fair, here's all you have to do. Show up Thursday night, November the 6th, and pay your admission to the fairgrounds. Gates open at 5:30. Then come to the pavilion where you can put your name in the registration box immediately. Then sit back and listen for your name. We'll start calling out contestants' names starting at 6 p.m. from the registration box. Each contestant will go into the cash queue for 40 seconds, where they'll grab as many Dixie dollars as possible. And we'll continue to draw names one after another until 7:45. The contest will end at 8 p.m. That's where the person who collects the most Dixie dollars in their trip in the cash cube will win $1,000 in real cash. But every contestant who's lucky enough to take a turn in the cash cube will receive $25 in fair bucks that can be used anywhere on the fairground. We hope to see you for Dixie Country Night. Maybe you'll win that $1,000 cash from the Lions Club and Dixie Country.
Good morning, I'm Jed Davis. Here's what's happening in the news on this Wednesday. Another attempt to end the government shutdown, another failed vote. It now marks 29 days since the shutdown began. Democrats have demands when it comes to health care and insurance. Republicans say that would add $1.5 trillion to the budget, something the nation can't afford. Democratic leaders in Alabama want Governor Kay Ivey to call a special session to find a way to fund the Federal Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP. The SNAP benefits are expected to expire this Saturday. 750,000 Alabamians rely on that program. Alabama Democrats want to use the rainy day fund to keep providing SNAP benefits during the shutdown. Governor Ivey's office says there are no plans to call a special session. The Montgomery Humane Society is worried about more people giving up their pets as a way to save money during the shutdown. In hopes of preventing that, It says it's giving out free dog and cat food starting November 1st. All you need is a government ID or a SNAP card. That's your news on this Wednesday.
1490 WHBB, and I was listening to that report from WSFA. The governor also said one of the reasons why she's not calling a special session is because Congress should do their job, and she's not going to do their job for them, and also, not to even mention the amount of money we're talking about. So, that's one of the risks of depending on government for food. And although we have to depend on government for a lot of things, but many times having a contingency plan is not a bad idea. And so, but it is what it is, right? Let me switch gears for a minute, because while we are preparing for next week and next month, depending on how long these guys go, I really can't blame the Republicans. I am not Democratic or Republican or independent. I can repeatedly say I'm nonpartisan. That is a good, in terms of my thinking, puts me in a position where I can comment on either one. But at the end of the day, especially when there have been a number of Democratic leaders who have admitted publicly, and they're on the record and have said, yeah, we know that we're using this as leverage, because this may be one of the last opportunities we have to get things done the way we want them. But that completely ignores the results of the election. And when you ignore it's such an obvious landslide, what you're really doing is you're not defying any one particular personality, the cult of the personality. You're not defying President Trump. You're defying the people that voted for the changes that was in his platform. But that, as they say, is another story. While we're having these debates, there's a much more serious situation that has developed in Jamaica and in the Caribbean. And that's this Hurricane Melissa. I can't even imagine 170-mile-an-hour winds. I know what 70-mile-an-hour winds feel like. And then I know what 90-mile-an-hour winds feel like. I've survived two of those kinds of storms. I was in Virginia, in Hampton Roads. The first time I went through a 70, and still sitting still in a 70-mile-an-hour hurricane force that was just going by, the Atlantic Ocean. And I didn't live too far from the tunnel in the water. And the building that I was in, the wind was so hard until the building, and I think this was a two-story apartment building, it actually shook. The building shook from side to side. I kid you not. I remember my neighbors came up because they were scared. I got them already, and it was scary. It was scary. But the building was shaking. It shifted from side to side, but it must have been built well because it didn't fall apart, and it was able to shift. You got to know what you're doing. Well, I guess they were built to withstand hurricane winds. And 90-mile-an-hour wind, I would never forget that. That was Hurricane Andrew. And I was 500 miles from Andrew, and the winds were still 90 miles an hour. Jamaica has experienced 170-mile-an-hour wind. I'm going to play a report in a minute, but first let's go to the phone line. Viewpoint, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. You said you're not a Republican, Democrat, anything, but we blame Democrats for everything. But what I want to say is, we just blame Democrats for the shit out. And basically, all they got to do is negotiate to go ahead on and put the subsidies back in for the ACA. They go ahead on and vote on it and go and wield it. Now, they're going to have to do it anyway. And the thing about it is, it's about 60% of the people in this country that their insurance will double or triple is in red states. Just like the food stamps. It's about 55 to 60% of the people in this country is in red state that's going to get hurt. So why can't they just go ahead? They got more red state than Democrats, but more real people going to be hurt. So why can't they just go ahead and negotiate that?
Well, why are the Democratic leaders admitting that they're using this as leverage? Why are they admitting that they're not budging, they're not shutting it down? It's not the Republicans' majority vote that's making the difference. They only need 5 Democrats in the Senate. And they have admitted that they're using it. So what do you say to that?
The leverage they're using leverage to get the people the subsidies that they need. So what's wrong with doing that?
I think that's an excuse. I think it's an excuse. They're acting like grown kids.
November 1st, which is Saturday, you got people in red states that their insurance is going to go 2 to 300%. And you're telling me that is an excuse? They're trying to get people to move, Randy.
No, they've already, no. And I don't even believe the conversation is an honest one. That's why I say don't insult my intelligence. And I'm not talking about you. I'm saying that their narrative many times is an insult to my intelligence.
Why is it not an honest conversation when they're trying to get people? It's not a lie that the subsidy is going to go up. It's not a lie. The insurance company and everybody else, you know.
Well, if I'm the one that caused the problem, why should you trust me to fix it?
What the hell is he talking about?
Because it started under their watch. I've told you, I know for a fact, Obamacare, and you had another person call earlier, already had tripled in cost. A couple years ago.
Not really.
Yes, it has, brother, because I know.
The thing about it, you know, the other guy was talking about Obamacare. Now, you got people on the street that are Republicans, and they ask you, what would you rather have, the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare? I'd rather have Affordable Care Act. I don't want Obamacare.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same, but people don't know that
because of the narrative, because they're shifting the narrative to shift the blame, because they're playing games. That's my point.
The Republicans have up there and demonized this insurance and called it Obamacare, hoping that the constituents want to hate it, what they did. These people are voting against their own interests.
Well, that's how you see it. I don't quite see it that way. I think there is something. There's some merit to being conservative financially, because when things like this hit, then you begin to understand why, and you may see the wisdom of being prepared for emergencies. That's a conservative thought pattern.
Republicans and the conservatives right now is playing on the intelligence and the ignorance of their voters. That's what they're doing.
Well, you're doing the tactic, what has become a very popular tactic of Democrats, and that is accusing the other side of what you're guilty of.
But let me ask you another question here. In 2018 and 2019, Trump shut down the government for 35 days. And nobody missed a payment. Nobody missed food stamps. So why can't they do the same thing now?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Trump sat up there and said he told the USDA, the Agriculture Secretary, not to go ahead on the tapping of them funds.
Well, what happened this past month in October? The government was shut down and people still ate. Where did that money come from? The Democrats provided it, huh?
That money was already alive, wasn't it? They ran out of it.
Well, like I said, look, it's pointless. I'm not going to contend. I'm not going to argue with you. Your mind is made up, you know, and this is fine. I don't have a problem with that. For me, my thing is 60 votes. Do your job.
23 states right now that have sued the federal government for going on.
60 votes. Do your job. The only people making money out of this deal benefiting are the lawyers.
Because they do not have the power to
They have, if all they need is 5 Democrats, they've got the power.
They don't have the power to stop that money that already in the USDA. They can use that money.
No, they can't. Illegally, according to the USDA, it is designed, according to the USDA, the money you're referring to is set aside for disasters like the one we're watching in Jamaica. But anyway, go ahead. Maybe so, but it doesn't. It's not. That's not the qualification. That's not the rule. Wait a minute. No, see, that's what I mean. You're saying they're wrong. Why waste time in court when all you need are 5 Democrats to step up to the plate and vote, and the government's back open, problem solved? But that's too much like the right thing.
Open the government back up, and then 21 million people in this country and sure it's going to double or triple.
That's not even realistic. The argument is illogical. They're already trying to shift the blame. See, but anyway, I hear you. I got to get ready to take this break. Let you make your closing remark.
So you said it is going to lie that November 1st that the insurance will shut out these people and tell those people that their insurance will double or triple without their subsidies. You say that's a lie. I'm
suspicious, and I don't think the whole story or the whole picture is being told. No, I'm a reporter. When the reporter in me comes out, I question. That's my job. Let's take this break. We'll be back with more. I do my job. I do my job. I wish they would do theirs. I don't get paid as much as they do to do my job. And I know a whole bunch of other folks that do their jobs. These guys don't want to do their job. It's simple as that.
Dave's Market at 431-5267. Order up a delicious Hunt Brothers pizza made just like you like it. From 1 topping to 10, price is the same. And when you get to the store, call that number again, 431-5267, and they'll bring it out to you. That's 334-431-5267. Hunt Brothers Pizza available from 7:30 in the morning till 7:30 at night at Dave's Market, Highway 22, Valley Grant.
Jim Creature, Pilcher McBride Drug Company wants to advise everyone that now is a great time to vaccinate. Come in and talk to our pharmacist about vaccines for you and your family. Protect yourself and your loved ones from flu, pneumonia, shingles, and whooping cough. Also, ask them about nutrient depletions from medications that could cause you to lose important nutrients from your body. And stay healthy through this upcoming season. Pilcher McBride Drug, 101 Broad Street in Selma.
Hi, this is Davis Henry with the Alabama Wildlife Federation. I'm excited to announce that it's time for the Selma Dallas County Wild Game Cook-Off. It will be held October the 30th at a new venue. We are moving to the AWF Pavilion at the City Marina. I hope everyone will come out and enjoy a great night along the banks of the Alabama River. To purchase tickets, just go by the Central Alabama Farmers Co-op. The cost is $50 per ticket and lets 2 people in. Gates open at 6 p.m. Come out and support the Alabama Wildlife Federation and help us continue to educate our youth about the great outdoors.
The Central Alabama Fair is the week of Monday, November 3rd through Saturday, November 8th at the Lions Fair Park on West Dallas Avenue in Selma. Enjoy nightly events, including a 4-H rabbit show on Tuesday, Kids Day on Wednesday, Dixie Country Night on Thursday, where someone will win $1,000 in our cash cube, free rib Friday, and much more. Daily admission is only $6, and unlimited ride armbands are $25 all week. There's a tickled pink petting zoo, including a reptile exhibit with frogs, a tortoise, snakes, and lizards. The Midway features great rides by C&M Southern Amusements with a circus sideshow. The Lions Club discovered the original Cozy Dog recipe and is not only proudly bringing it back, but will add Alabama-made Conecuh sausage Cozy Dogs to the menu as well. Cross Point Church handles the bingo games this year, and there'll be plenty of pretty girls and 5 beauty pageants. The Central Alabama Fair, November through 8th at the Selma Lions Club Fair Park.
1490 WHBB. I'll play this piece on Jamaica, but first, let's go back to the phone line. Viewpoint, you're on the air.
Randy, as I was sitting there eating my pancakes and sausage and listening to you talk to that last caller, did I hear you refer to him as Reverend?
No. That must have been if I did, I sure didn't intend to.
He
I hope not.
I told you, and I know you've heard it before, but that you can't argue with somebody that already knows everything. So, but anyway, we can hold our lawmakers and legislators, whatever they call themselves, in Washington accountable. Here's the problem. You can't hold them accountable until the election comes up. Every how many years they're elected for. We can't do anything about it until that election comes back up. And by that time, they're so rich, they don't care one way or the other. And as I said yesterday, the problem is, even though most of the people that voted for them know they're not doing their job or not doing it right, they still vote them back in office when that election does come up. So they're never held accountable for what they do. Some of them has been there so long they look older than
the office. Yeah, I know that's right.
Some of them must be automatically reinstated for another term without even having to run.
Political machinery. That's what scares me about where we are now in this country politically.
All those people are accountable because once they go in there, they're making so much money, they're rich by the time they get out of one term. So I don't know what the answer to the problem is, but the fact is they do not care. I don't care whether, and I'm saying even the president don't care. He would be doing something about it himself. But that's my comment for today. But I don't know what we're going to do. Our nation is going down the drain. It really is. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. All I can say is pray, watch and pray. But and Scripture tells us to pray for our leaders and to pray for those who are in power. Give God what's God and give Caesar what's due Caesar. Whose image is this that you see on the coin? Jesus said, huh? So what can we do? Except be prepared. And awareness and being prepared and knowing how things operate should give us an upper hand in terms of being prepared for these kinds of situations. I believe in preparation. I believe in being prepared for these natural disasters. At the end of the day, when I was the course for the community, what was it called? The community. I've forgotten the name of the training we went through, but it was several of us. So they had a couple of sessions where they train you what to do in an emergency, and you learn about triage and all the other stuff. But community emergency response teams. And the first rule of being a volunteer in a disaster is you have to be able to take care of yourself first. Because if you can't help yourself, you can't help anybody. And so after I'm situated, then I can look around and see what I can do to help. Viewpoint, you're on the air.
No, I'm not a preacher, but I am speaking of what Jesus taught.
Oh no, it's obvious you're not a preacher, and don't misquote Jesus and don't misquote the Scripture, because I am a student of the Bible. Now go ahead.
Jesus taught to take care of the least of these. Take care of the poor, the meek.
And he said the poor will always be with you.
The only thing about it is, you got the people right now that don't even want to do that. So I am speaking about what Jesus was teaching, but you're saying, I don't do that. Don't do this, don't do that. I'm
saying do your job. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying they ought to do their job. Look, I got to get to this other piece. Thank you for calling. I want to see what this is myself and see what's happening in Jamaica, because they just got hit by the strongest hurricane ever recorded in the island's history. 170 mile an hour winds. This is a report on Jamaica. It says Jamaica's prime minister says damage is significant. Let's see what the report has to say.
Come on the air tonight, one of the strongest hurricanes ever recorded, barreling through the Caribbean. Jamaica slammed with the full force of the monster Cat 5. Melissa roaring ashore there this afternoon, packing life-threatening winds and rain. And look at these flooded street Roads completely inundated as raging waters rush in. The warning from officials tonight, displaced crocodiles could be lurking in the water, and that is not a joke. Moments ago, the Prime Minister of Jamaica telling Top Story tonight his biggest concern is damage done to multiple hospitals. You can see that roof ripped apart on this one. The full scope of the devastation and potential loss of life on the island, not yet in full view. The Prime Minister also telling us it's still too dangerous for search and rescue teams to go out. We'll have that full conversation with the Prime Minister straight ahead. 25,000 tourists, though, still trapped on the island, some barricading themselves in hotel ballrooms like this. Melissa's next targets, Cuba, then the Bahamas, both bracing for direct hits. We have full team coverage tonight. Our reporter live in the storm zone and our meteorologist, Al Roker, standing by to time it all out. But we begin tonight in Jamaica, where NBC's George Solis is in the storm zone.
Tonight, a devastating direct hit. Melissa slamming into Jamaica as a catastrophic Category 5 hurricane, pummeling the island.
You can see this, by the way. I'm sharing the screen on the YouTube channel, so you can also see the video footage. And boy, you talk about rough.
With 185-mile-an-hour winds and torrential rain. The monster storm unleashing raging floodwaters and life-threatening storm surge, tearing roofs from homes and knocking out power for hundreds of thousands. This was the terrifying scene inside a hospital as Melissa ripped through. Tonight, officials cautioning people to avoid flooded areas where crocodiles may lurk. Kingston may have been spared the worst of Melissa, but we are still experiencing those strong tropical force storm winds. Before Melissa's historic landfall, officials had this dire final warning.
Don't bet against Melissa. It is a bet we can't win.
Melissa roared ashore midday in New Hope on the southwestern coast before slicing across the island to the resorts of Montego Bay.
Unfortunately, it's here.
It's here.
Wind has been pretty gnarly this morning.
Officials say some 25,000 tourists are stranded.
We were advised to put one of our mattresses on the window and barricade it with the tables that we have in the room.
People staying at this Montego Bay hotel were evacuated to the ballroom, where they rode out the storm, huddled together on the floor.
Yeah, the beach is just devastated.
Christina and Tony Malscioti were in Negril celebrating their 10th anniversary. Like many tourists, they scrambled to try and get out before airports closed, but their flight was canceled, leaving them stranded.
It was horrific. It was absolutely terrifying. And I think it was more for the fear of not knowing. I've broken down several times just crying. You know, I don't want to end my life here.
Melissa tying the record for the strongest Atlantic storm to ever make landfall. This was the reaction from our meteorologist at NBC6 in Miami, getting an update on the storm's unbelievable strength live on air.
Oh, my Jesus Christ.
The storm so dangerous, a Hurricane Hunter flight gathering data had to turn back for the second day in a row. Evacuations are now underway in Cuba, which is bracing for impact. While here in Jamaica, it could take weeks to fully assess the full scope of Melissa's devastation. These whipping winds expected to be with us through tonight. Now, Jamaican officials hope that they are able to assess the nation's airports tomorrow, both the one in Montego Bay and here in Kingston, to start some of those relief flights and bring help to those areas that have been devastated by Hurricane Melissa. Tom?
George Solis for us tonight. George, thank you. Let's get right over to Al Roker. Al, Hurricane Melissa now one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes on record, stronger than Hurricane Katrina. Walk us through what you're watching right now and where it is.
Okay, so here we have right now its way now across Jamaica, 15 miles east of Montego Bay, 145 mile per hour. Still a category storm. It's moving northeast at 8. This system has been moving relatively slowly, Tom. So as it pushes further to the north, it still is taking its time dumping tons of rain. Now, what's made this so strong? Well, the ocean waters are about 2.5 degrees warmer than average. So this rapid intensification, the strength of this storm, likely 700 times more likely due to human-caused climate change, which has created this monster storm, Tom.
Yeah, and then where's it headed from there? We can see the tail end there of eastern Cuba, and it looks like it's going to be a bullseye.
Yes, that's right. So right now we've got these tropical storm warnings. We've also got hurricane warnings right up through the Bahamas. This thing makes landfall the Bahamas, the eastern chain of the islands there, but as a Category 3, and then continues, even still threatening Bermuda, Tom, as a Category 2 storm.
Yeah, and then Al, you've covered a lot of these storms. I have as well. I can tell you what concerns me is that we're not seeing a lot of what's happening in Jamaica right now. And even speaking to the Prime Minister, we're going to hear from him a little later. It's unclear, the picture. That concerns me. What about you?
Well, I think just the strength of this system has really kind of, in a sense, not so much surprised us, because we started talking about this back on October 12th. And here we are now today still talking about Melissa, a monster storm. So the idea, what concerns me most, we didn't really have that many strong storms in the Atlantic to churn up the water. So this was really a powder keg waiting to blow with the right storm. And Melissa turned out to be that right storm.
All right, Al Roker, I know you're going to be watching
and
this.
that is that's some of it. We'll see. I'm sure that as the sun has come up, and once the hurricane force winds and Melissa leave the area, that they will be able to see what is going on. Now, I was just texted. I just received a text that said I'm guilty of the same thing as I accused the caller of by repeating Republican talking points, and that the language in the actual law, in terms of how this money can be used, says that it can be used for, is using a broader terminology. I will have to sit down and read the whole document. This is why the courts get involved and judges get involved who have a legal training, who have a legal background, and they debate talking points. And so I'd have to read it. And so the question becomes, is my time best spent taking a couple of hours and sit down and read something that I can't do anything about? I am concerned, though, and I am considering doing some research on trying to figure out a way to help people make the right kind of decisions about all of these different insurance companies that are bombarding everybody. So it's big money involved. It's got to be. When there's this many companies trying to sell themselves to us, I'm highly suspicious. Let's take this last break.
We're with Barry Parker at Reliable Chevrolet and GMC. Now, Barry, some folks have said they ain't but 2 seasons, football season and hunting season.
And we're right in the middle of football season. So come on down, folks. If you're getting ready to head out to a high school game or a college game, or maybe even a NFL game, we've got to rise for you from something in good gas mileage all the way up to the big Tahoes and Yukons, some Suburbans and Yukon XLs. Or you might want to go in a pickup truck. We got you covered there too. So whatever you're looking for when it comes to traveling, we can fix you up in a brand new Chevrolet or GMC here on the lot, ready to go, ready for you to come in and pick out the one that you want to drive today.
And of course, you're not going to let anybody beat the deal that's offered here at Reliable. We've got the computer, and we'll put in all the information, and it'll spit out the best possibilities for you.
That's right, George. We're not going to sit here and talk about you saving tens and 20 thousands of dollars. We're going to say, hey, come in, sit down with us, pick out the unit that you want. We're going to put your zip code in and the unit that you choose, and we're going to let your computer show you all the different choices that you have in saving money right here at Reliable Chevrolet GMC.
And don't forget about the great selection of pre-owned automobiles. A great selection of makes and models and price ranges for you to come by and take a look at today.
All service and ready to go. We can do the financing for you. We've set up with all the major banks and credit unions, and of course, GM Financial. We can handle it all. As I say all the time, we're a one-stop shop.
Reliable Chevrolet and GMC,
14th Lawrence Street, downtown Selma. Phone number 872-2337, or check us out on our website at reliablegmc.com.
1490 WHBB. I appreciate the listener for sending me the text, but I'll also point this out. Words matter. And if you listen to me and what I said closely, I said the memo from the USDA said. I didn't say Randy Williams believed. I simply stated what the USDA's position is. The courts are going to have to decide who's right and wrong. Huh? You have yourself a safe and enjoyable day. I love you, all of you. Have a safe and enjoyable day. Stay tuned for Fox News on WHPB Selma. It's 9 o'clock.
It's going to get worse.